everybody. Dave Brown here at ringside where we got a big crowd today. We're ready to go with CWA Championship Wrestling. You stay with us. You don't want to miss this one today. We are going to have coming in here the Blackbirds. We're talking about Brickhouse Brown, Iceman Parsons. We'll also be looking at a six-man match, and on one side of the ring, you got Black Bart, the master of pain, and the dirty white boy. Freddy will be here, partner with Dustin Rhodes a little bit later on. And then, in the expiration of time match, got four big wrestlers in there. Gary Air Albright, who we met for the first time last week, will be teamed with Doug Gilbert, a couple of large-sized gentlemen there. They will be going against Plowboy Frazier and Cousin Junior, but that's not all. Last week, we started out with a 21-man battle royal. They battled and battled and battled. We had to leave the air, and there were 4 men left. Starting out, when we come back here, we will have Doug Gilbert, the Wild Side, Chris Champion, and Mark Starr, and Rick Morton. That's the way the Battle Royal will pick up. We'll take it to the conclusion, and we'll do that when we come back here in just a moment. In the ring right there, the Wild Side, Chris Champion, who's in a nasty mood today, Mark Starr, Doug Gilbert, and here comes Rick Morton. We are just about ready to go with the conclusion of a 21-man battle royal. Rick Morton into the ring. Referee Jerry Calhoun says, let's get him going. Boy, they went for a long, long time last week. We ran out of time. We never had that situation before that we can recall on a battle royal in which you start out with however many men and then battle down to a winner. But there were 4 left. We went absolutely to the last second, and Eddie Marlin came out and said, hey, let's just call a 1-week timeout. We'll put the 4 of them in there again next week, and we'll start it at that point. And that's what we're doing right now. Rick Morton in trouble. It's almost 3 against 1 here, and has been for the last few minutes of the Battle Royal. Rick going against basically the Wild Side and Chris Champion and Mark Starr, who are, of course, partners anyway, and Doug Gilbert, who is siding with them against Rick Morton. Rick into the ropes. They were trying to throw him over that top rope, but Rick has been able to hang on to the ropes. We saw that last week, and this week doesn't look good right now, though, as they got him. They got one leg over the top rope. He's hanging on, and he's got enough of his body weight dropped down. What a great move by Rick. Kind of hard to really see, but when you think about it, what Rick did is just dropped his center of gravity. Made it very difficult and perhaps impossible, almost impossible anyway, for them to throw him over the rope. At any rate, they didn't get the job done. Rick is still in there. Still battling Chris Champion, Mark Starr, and Doug Gilbert. The Battle Royal continues. It started out as 21 men. Down to 4 right now. Wild Side going to clothesline him. One from the front, one from the back. Rick moves out of the way, and there goes Doug Gilbert over the top rope. Doug Gilbert is out of there, and you got to figure that Rick Morton's chances have at least, well, maybe not improved, I was going to say, but Doug Gilbert trips him. And Rick Morton down on the mat. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, out telling Doug Gilbert, you get out of here. You've been eliminated, and you have to leave the wrestling area. There goes Gilbert out the door, thank goodness. But now it's the Wild Side. Mark Starr, Chris Champion, tag team partners, double teaming Rick Morton. They've got him up on the top rope and the turnbuckles. Rick able to get Mark Starr back. He nailed him in the top of the head. Rick Morton still alive against the Wild Side. Rick. 1/2 of the Rock and Roll Express. Rick Morton using that right fist. Lands their heads together on a Wild Side. That's a disadvantage right now, even though they've got a 2-to-1 advantage. A little snap neck breaker by Rick Morton. Rick gets Chris Champion almost over the top rope, but Mark Starr with a boot to the rib cage on the left side. And Chris Champion continues in the match. Champion and Starr. Rick Morton backed into a corner. Starr, Champion, both using the forearms on him. And here they go again. Got Rick up in the air, going to try to get him over the top rope. Almost. Chris Champion almost had him over the rope, but Rick hangs on. Incredible. As Rick Morton has battled against the odds here, against 3 of them, and now against both Mark Starr and Chris Champion, the wild side, to continue in this battle royal. They double him up. Rick moves out of the way. There goes Mark Starr over the top rope. It's 1 against 1. We've got Chris Champion against Rick Morton, and now Rick has got him 1-on-1. Who will be the winner of the battle royal? Chris Champion of the wild side or Rick Morton? Rick moves out of the way. Champion's momentum carried him into the rope. He tried to stop, and he didn't hit especially hard, but he did run right into the turnbuckles. Rick Morton with the boot. Rick's got to be feeling good. It's got to be one of those things which really gets him fired up and charged up to know that he survived 3 against 1, and now he's got a chance to win it. Only Chris Champion left to defeat, but boy, that's a tall order in itself. Chris Champion almost jumped over the rope. Rick Morton just about got him over the rope. Look out, here comes Mark Starr from outside. He grabs a chair. That's going to do it. It's a disqualification. Rick Morton is going to be the winner of the 21-man battle royal. I see you, Mark. Carry a chair in there. You'd been eliminated. You were out of it. Rick Morton is going to win by disqualification, but now Champion and Mark Starr working him over the... Oh, they've got him cut up. When Starr hit him with that chair in the top of the head, it popped his forehead open. And now Champion and Starr are working on him. Come on. The match is over. The wild side, upset that they lost, or were about to lose, it looked like, as it looked like Rick had Chris Champion almost dumped over the top rope. And Mark Starr comes in. Here comes Robert Gibson, the other half of the Rock and Roll Express. In here with a couple of boards. He's using one. Rick Morton's got the other one. And they have just cleaned out the ring. There goes the wild side. Oh, Rick Morton nails it. Here's Robert. Robert.
Let me tell you something, Dave. There ain't gonna be no more 2-on-1. Rock and Roll Express are together now. Let me tell you something, brother. Come here, Ricky. Look, like I said, David, no more 2-on-1. It's gonna be both of us together. Let me tell you something. And Eddie Marlin here?
Yeah, he's here.
Eddie Marlin, bring yourself out here, please.
What do you do, brother?
Hey, they don't use this kind of stuff.
Well, let me tell you something,
Eddie.
Brown. Ever since I've been here by myself, it's always been 2 or 3-on-1. But let me tell you, but now it's not going to be like that. Because like Brother said, Rock and Roll Express is here, and we're here to stay. When you see me, you see Robert. And when you see Robert, you see myself.
That's good, brother. Hey, I tell you what, I seen what just happened here. I just got back in the territory. I want to say one thing. I want to match these guys here, me and Ricky, against 2-on-2.
Eddie, we know what they want. We're not playing no head games with nobody, brother. You want to come down and make yourself a big reputation at the expense of the Rock and Roll Express. Just because you are the CWA Tag Team Champions, well, brother, they're going to be long-lived if you keep messing with us, Jack. And we want a match, Eddie. That's what we want.
You guys have already got a match, you know.
It don't matter. We want another one. We want to get some...
Well, if I sign another match, y'all would have to wrestle twice. So.
Look at my head, Eddie. It don't matter if we got to wrestle 20 times. I don't care.
We can go all night long.
I see it out of the ring, too, baby. Let me tell you that.
If they want the match, I'll be glad to sign it. So the match is signed.
Rock and Roll Express against the wild side. All right, Robert. Yeah, Robert says not going to be any more of this 2 against 1. When you run into one of the Rock and Roll Express, going to run into both of them. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just to be quiet a minute, Ronnie, just shut up. I want to tell the people, remind you that August the 23rd, we'll be back in Owensboro, Kentucky. But now I want to talk about Wednesday night, August the 16th, Henderson, Kentucky, right here at the Riverside Downs, 7:30 p.m. Probably the biggest card that's been signed at the Riverside Downs.
Only because you got Ronnie Gossett.
Well, wait just a minute. Let me tell them. Opening match will be Hitman Doug Gilbert going against Freddy. Then the second match will be Plowboy.
Let me have that microphone, you senile old fossil. You've got the wild side. My boys, Chris Champion and Mark Starr, against Plowboy Frazier and Cousin Junior. They'll make hay of those two farmers. And then you've got Black Bart and Dirty White Boy against Super Pygmy Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes.
That's right, Ronnie, and tell them it's a special match. Australian football rules. The key will be on a football. The man will be handcuffed. And I don't believe it's a fan in that crowd will throw your man the football.
If I'm in that crowd, I'll be more than happy to throw a long pass. And then you got the Rock and Roll Express, who were finished 5 years ago against the Blackbirds and Slippery Harold Harris. That's no match at all.
Rock and Roll Express, in 10 minutes, the Rock and Roll Express will get $5,000.
Well, they won't get $5,000. They won't even beat them in 2. Then you got Dutch Mantell, loser leaves town match with my man, the Master of Pain. How I have waited for this match, Dutch Mantell. You'll leave here the same way you came in, on a Greyhound bus. And Jerry Lawler, you've been dodging me all year with that belt you got in that Kmart crown. My Super Destroyer, I paid him a lot of money to come in here so you could kiss that belt goodbye. And then lights out match, Rock and Roll Express against my wild side. We're going to take a walk all over you. The only lights going out is going to be you, Rock and Roll, so you can get ready to turn them out.
I just want to tell the people, all of that is coming up Wednesday night, August 16th, right here in Henderson, Kentucky, at the Riverside Down, 7:30 p.m. Everybody be there. Ronnie Gossett, you better have your Master of Pain ready to go.
He'll be ready.
Tim Hall, Bobby Shannon in the ring right now. The Blackbirds, Brickhouse Brown, Iceman Parsons on the way to the wrestling area. They'll have their manager, Harold Harris, with them. Going in a tag team match today. There they are. All of them carrying walking sticks. Especially Harold Harris makes good use of his from outside the ring from time to time, too. This will be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Hall and Shannon against Brickhouse Brown and Iceman Parsons, the Blackbirds. Iceman and Brickhouse passing their walking sticks and shades out of the ring. Harold Harris, their manager, you see on the lower left corner of the screen. Tim Harris will be starting against Brickhouse Brown as action gets underway here in the first tag team match of the day. Here's Harold Harris.
I've got a few words to say. You know, earlier here I issued a challenge to the Rock and Roll Express. $5,000. If we can't spend it, I'm not worried about losing the money because that's money in the bank. But have they accepted my challenge? That's what I want to know.
They accepted your challenge in a heartbeat. They did not even hesitate.
Oh, they have. Well, now see, every Saturday I want all of these people out here to know that you're going to be seeing a wrestling lesson. You're going to be seeing the finest that professional wrestling has to offer with the Blackbirds. Excuse me for just a moment.
Certainly. You're going to be maybe getting a wrestling lesson, too, in that these guys you're going against today are not the Rock and Roll Express. Well, Harold Harris put in his 2 cents worth. The Blackbirds had some words. Let's listen to what they had to say about the situation.
Rock and roll. Well, a message for you, mate. You thought you accomplished something by beating me. You didn't do anything. I'm a manager, see? I'm dressed properly. These guys, they're wrestlers. You didn't accomplish anything. But I can give you 5,000 reasons why I'm guaranteed that they can kick your butt up and down that Coliseum. It doesn't matter where it's at, but the challenge has been issued. Hear them in to tell you more about it.
Did you listen to that, boys? We can slap you around and get the job done in 10 minutes or less. We got $5,000 to back up the claim. Y'all ain't going nowhere fast, suckers, and the only reason you went anywhere at all is because me and the Icer was never teamed up during the time when y'all thought y'all was hot. Tell them, Ice. See, you beat somebody, but you didn't beat the Blackbirds. See, you might as well know, because they say, what's the word? They say, Blackbird. And for you'll be nuts, your chances are slim enough. And Slimmer at the bus station getting a one-way ticket away from here. Woo!
Well, as we told Harold Harris earlier, the challenge has been accepted by the Rock and Roll Express. Iceman Parsons in there right now. Bobby Shannon got a 2 count on him. He picked him up, though. I don't know if he could have held him for a 3 count or not. It looked like he might have been able to. But Iceman, picked him up, insulting him a little bit now with a slap. Takes a shot at Tim Harris while he's over in the corner there. Iceman Parsons. Boy, you saw Harold Harris running around the ring. He's smiling, boy, he's happy. Wrestling lesson, he calls it. He says that's what you fans are seeing is a wrestling lesson. There's a lesson for you. How a manager interferes when a man is outside the ring on the floor and the manager comes over and jumps all over him. Iceman Parsons goes back to work on Bobby Shannon, who was thrown back into the ring. Iceman makes the tag. Here comes Brickhouse Brown, the team of the Blackbirds. Double clothesline by Iceman and Brickhouse. Yeah, Brickhouse, a little celebrating. Bobby Shannon. Picked up by the hair now by Brickhouse Brown. Brickhouse hooked him to the left and then a right, and Bobby Shannon finds himself right back on the mat. 3 minutes, 45 seconds gone in this tag team match. Blackbirds controlling it from the opening bell. Brickhouse with a cover now. Will he make it stick? Count is 2. Nope, picked him up at the 2 count. An infuriating situation. We've seen these guys do that before in a match. There's a tag made. Iceman Parsons coming back in. Referee distracted now by Harold Harris. Iceman pulls Shannon out to the middle of the ring, and Brickhouse Brown comes off the top rope. Bobby Shannon lying in the middle of the ring. Iceman Parsons with his boot on his chest. Count of 3, and this one is over. The Blackbirds just destroying the team of Bobby Shannon and Tim Harris. Harris and Shannon gave it a fight, but they were just outmanned today by the Blackbirds and Harold Harris. Hey, here comes that team that accepted the challenge of the Blackbirds. The Rock and Roll Express. Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, and they go out the board with them. Laid the chair down and also put the 5,000 up too, right?
These guys, they can beat the Rock and Roll Express in 10 minutes or less. They got $5,000 they can put up.
You're right.
They couldn't beat us. It could take them all day long, Dave.
They couldn't beat us in 2 weeks.
It's $5,000 and just keep getting richer and richer.
Won't you just walk out here and give us the $5,000? You see, because what a night it's going to be. We're going to get $5,000 and we're going to beat the wild side like there's no tomorrow. That's what's going to happen, brother.
Yeah.
So write it down. Learn to love it, learn to live with it, because it's going to be here a long time. Like I told you before, rock and roll is here to stay, and rock and roll is forever. So it don't matter to us, Blackbirds, if you put up $10,000. All you doing is giving us the money. So we be ready. We want that $5,000 because we're going to buy us a new car.
We got double duty. We take care of both teams right there, baby.
You're right. You got 2 tough matches coming up. $5,000 at stake in that one. We'll be back here. Don't you go away.
Hi, everybody. Jerry the King Lawler and
I'm Dutch Mantell.
That's right. We want to talk to you about the action coming up this Wednesday night right here in Henderson, Kentucky. Riverside Downs, a great card. Opening up is going to be Fearless Freddy, our friend, going to be going against Hitman Doug Gilbert. Then the Wild Side taking on Plowboy Frazier and Cousin Jr. What about that third match, Dutch?
And Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes taking on Black Bart and the Dirty White Boy in an Australian Rules football match. A very interesting match.
That should be a good one. Then the Blackbirds putting up $5,000, say they can beat the Rock and Roll Express in 10 minutes or less. Don't think it'll happen. Then your big match, Dutch.
And the match I want to talk about very briefly here, Loser Lee Town, me against the Master of Pain. Let's see who's packing it up Wednesday night.
That's right. And then Ronnie P. Gossett, always after this belt, he's bringing in the Super Destroyer to Henderson right there, Riverside Downs, trying to take this title. Gossett, it ain't going to happen. That's all Wednesday night. because there is a lights-out match. The Wild Side going against the Rock and Roll Express after all the other matches are over. It's all going to happen Wednesday night, Riverside Downs, 7:30, Thunder in the Night. You be there. We'll be there, won't we, Dutch?
Be there.
Rick Morton, the winner of that Battle Royal, which started last week and ended up this week. He won it by disqualification, though, when the Wild Side both jumped him. But Rick Morton nonetheless gets the victory, and Robert Gibson came out to help him out, and he says, hey, from now on, when you see one of the Rock and Roll Express, you're going to see both of them. Not going to be any more of this 2-on-1 stuff. Blackbirds won their match. Right now, we're waiting for the participants. Let's see if we can go ahead and get them in here. 6-man tag team match coming up. Referee Jerry Calhoun through the ropes. That's William Freezer Thompson, Chris Frazier, and Rodney Napper stepping up on one side of the ring. On the other side of the ring, 3 huge wrestlers. Black Bart out of Pecos, Texas. Dirty White Boy, they're back. Dirty White Boy out of Bucksnort, Tennessee. And the Master of Pain, whose last known address was Atlanta, Georgia. 6-man tag team action. The big branding iron with BB Black Bart passed out of the ring to security. Referee Jerry Calhoun waiting patiently, and we'll have 2 in the corner and 1 in the ring for each team if all goes well here. But with a 6-man match and an 8-man match, you just never know what's going to happen. You end up with a lot of them in there all at once sometimes. Wow, Black Bart took the 289-pounder and Freezer Thompson and just threw him into the corner. Made a quick tag on the Master of Pain, who used that huge boot. Would you look at that? Master of Pain picked Freezer straight up in the air and dropped him in the center of the ring. Master of Pain at 6'9", 325, makes the tag on the Dirty White Boy. Dirty White Boy with that vicious upper arm. Freezer over to the corner, makes the tag on Rodney Napper. Napper picked up in the air. Dirty White Boy with a slam on it. White Boy drops with a fist. He had the fist doubled up when he dropped down to the mat. Tag made. Black Bart will be coming back in. Boy, this team on this side really making quick tag outs. Black Bart dumps Rodney Napper over his back. Black Bart picks him up by the hair. Calls for a boot. He gets 2 of them. 1 from the Dirty White Boy, 1 from the Master of Pain, and now just using the turnbuckle to ram Rodney Napper's head into it. Tag made by Black Bart. Long, tall Master of Pain with the right fist. Straight up in the air, Rodney Napper, Master of Pain with a suplex, drops him down on his back. Master of Pain leaps and then sat down on him. Napper thrown over to the corner by Master of Pain. Tag, your partner, Chris Frazier, had not been in till this point, but now he is, and the Master of Pain greets him with a telephone pole of a broad arm across the back. And now across the chest, Black Bart takes a shot at him from outside for good measure. Master of Pain has tagged the Dirty White Boy. The clothesline by Dirty White Boy. Used the fist when he dropped down. Frazier nailed with an open-handed slap across the chest. Black Bart back in. Dirty White Boy out. Oh, a chop. You could hear across the county. Head into the turnbuckle. The team of Frazier, and Napper having 0 success against a tough team of mean veterans. And Black Bart, who just threw Chris Frazier out on the floor. Master of Pain, who now has a metal chair, and nails him with it. And the Dirty White Boy. Master of Pain rolls Frazier back into the ring. Rodney Napper around to try to help out a little bit. On Rodney exchanged the double team. The big knee lift from the dirty white boy. We're about 3 minutes, 40 seconds into the action, and it's been total domination by Black Bart, master of pain, dirty white boy. That double drop kick by the dirty white boy to the midsection. Master of pain picking Frazier up in the air, and he drives it in toward the turnbuckles, and then about 3 feet out just threw him into the corner. Look at this guy move. Chris Frazier, victim of the master of pain. Black Bart comes in. 4.5 minutes gone. Chris Frazier body slammed by Black Bart. Bart leaves him lying there. Heads for the rope. He's up on the middle rope. Here he comes with the sign of the long run, and he drops down with the upper leg. He covers him. 1, 2. Put this one in the books for Black Bart, the master of pain and the dirty white boy. Now the Black Bart grabs Napper. Dirty white boy grabs Frazier. Now we had 5 of them in the ring. Now dirty white boy grabs Napper. Here he comes over the top rope. And not only did they win the match, they felt like they had to show that they were just in total, complete control. They get the victory in 5 minutes, 4 seconds, 5:04, the time on it. Black Bart, the dirty white boy, and the master of pain with the victory as they head out of here. Come on, guy, leave him alone. Let's get out of here and finally head back to the dressing room. Rodney Napper helping Freezer Thompson out of there. Yeah, Bart and the dirty white boy have gone. Let's take a break. We'll be back here in just a moment. Well, Black Bart, dirty white boy, and the master of pain did get the victory in that 6-man tag team match just completed here. And as we said, they totally dominated the whole thing. They have asked for a moment to say a word about the match coming up, and we granted that. Now they're not showing up. I don't know. I guess that's pretty typical of them. Well, here they come. Thought maybe we could avoid this altogether, but maybe not. Dirty white boy and Black Bart coming out here. Bart with that branding iron, which comes into play. Also, of course, has the CWA heavyweight title. He's
Where's Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes?
They're not here, but they will be.
Gentlemen,
No, they're not here, but they will be when time for the match.
Okay, where is he back now? He
They're
ain't back
not
there neither.
here.
You know, I heard that Bill Dundee dreamed up some kind of match called an Australian football match.
That's exactly right.
Okay, what they tape a key to a football. One man's handcuffed in a corner. Whoever gets the key can unlock him.
Can unlock his partner. It'll be 2 against 1, and the fans get involved.
2 against 1. Can you imagine what happens if I unlock you or you unlock me?
I love it.
You know what's going to happen to Bill Dundee or Dustin Rhodes? Simple. They'll get their brains beat out. What do you think? I got a little something. Let's lay that aside. I got a little something for all you dead gum fans out there, because you're going to be tossing the dead gum football all around the Coliseum. You better dead gum well throw that football to Black Bart or Tony, the white boy, and dirty as he can be, because if you don't, I will come out there and I will paintbrush you. I will stomp a mud hole in you. And then, guess what? I will stomp that mud hole dry. You throw that dead gum football to us, because we know that you hate Dustin Rhodes and you hate the midget Dundee. You throw the key to the white boy or outlaw by Snamich. Oh, you getting fired up, baby. You getting fired up now. Because you looking at the real champions right here. And Dave, old buddy, it's been your pleasure. If you can, see if Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes, just make sure that they show up Monday.
They'll show up. Don't worry about it. They'll be at the arena. No doubt about it. And I can't for the life of me imagine the fans passing the football to you So you better be doggone good at pass interception if you plan on getting the key off of that football. We got another match coming up right here. Let's sound the bell and get them in here. This one, oh, I think we got, matter of fact, one of the people that they were just talking about is here. Going to be involved in this match. Dustin Rhodes. Freddy's going to be his partner. Here comes Boss Winters. Boss Winters confident. Hey, we got us a win here today, he says. Rough and ready, his team stepping in there, but look at the opponent. Dustin Rhodes out of Austin, Texas, and there goes Boss Winter because Freddy is after him. Freddy inviting him back, and Boss Winter having none of that. Boss?
David, there's a law against this in most states.
Yeah, I think you were speeding as you left as the law you were breaking. As you went running by here to try to get away from Freddy. Law against that in most states, says Boss. Dustin Rhodes. Looks like maybe not. Freddy jumps in the ring, and there goes Rough and Ready. Sound it? All right. Referee Jerry Calhoun has called for the bell. He wants to go ahead and get this one underway. Who's going to start? Well, we don't know who's going to start yet. Freddie. I thought Freddie was... okay, Freddie shakes hands with the referee, said, I'm sorry. Let me out of here. Dustin is going to start. Dustin Rhodes starting against Rough of Rough and Ready. Rough hanging back close to the corner. I noticed none of you are headed that way with any great rapidity. Rough watching out for his back with Freddy back in the corner. Dustin Rhodes, what a fine young wrestler Dustin Rhodes is. Son of the legend, of course, Dusty Rhodes. Ronnie P. Gossett, I've seen enough of you for a week at least.
You'll see a lot more of me, Chops, before I'm through. And you tell these idiots when I come out here to stop calling me Porky. I despise that word. I don't want to hear it anymore. You take a good look at that freak Freddy in there because it's curtains for him. I've got my zombie, my Undertaker. I've got all my henchmen coming in, and it's curtains for Freddy. And you look at Dustin Rhodes. Take a look at that big fat slob because he is the illegitimate, and I use that word very loosely, illegitimate son of Dusty Rhodes.
He is the son of Dusty Rhodes. That's exactly right. The rest of it is not. Dustin Rhodes back in the corner, Rough and Ready, double team.
And another thing I told you, Dave Brown, to screen these morons that come in here. That woman has got more hair under her arms than I got on my whole head. Look at them over there. You got the welfare recipients on the front row, the mentally retarded to the side.
Looking at a fine crowd.
You're looking at a bunch of freeloaders is what you're doing.
Dustin Rhodes, nice move, and here comes Freddy.
That freak in the wrestling business.
You see him clean that ring out. Rough and Ready and Boss Winter all down here on the floor.
Don't get him over here.
Yeah.
I don't want that moron over here.
Yeah, what? He's inviting you in there. Why don't you go on in there? Go speak with him. Go speak with him just for a moment. Meet him at ringside.
I don't want to meet him anywhere, at ringside or anywhere.
Well, the referee.
That guy is mentally retarded. You don't need to get near him.
He's inviting you in there, Ronnie. Come on in, he says. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Gossett.
Mr. Gossett will beat his brains out.
Yeah, Mr. Gossett, real fine example of an athlete, no doubt about it. Referee back in the ring now. And is that Rough or Ready? That's Rough.
The zombie will handle Freak Freddy, I can assure you of that. And then there won't be any Freddy. It'll be zombie.
Don't forget about Freddy's friend, Jason.
I'm not worried about Jason or anybody else you bring in here. I told you Ronnie Gossett is like the weather. You talk about him, but you don't do nothing about it.
I didn't bring him in. Freddie brought him in because you brought in that freak with Zombie and the Undertaker.
Let's not forget the Undertaker.
Yeah, let's not. because he interfered last time. And who wants to stop him this time? You will certainly encourage that, I'm sure.
Rhodes should be on the cover of Field and Stream magazine. Look at that big, fat slob. If I looked that bad, I'd go on a crash diet. He needs my new video, How to Be Fit and Happy, just like me, Ronnie P. His ignorant dad was the first one to order a copy from me.
Freddy down on the floor.
Over here. You control that freak while I'm out here.
I would just love to see him come over here and get you out of here.
I just think you will. Something in an elbow pad, but that's all right when somebody like that does it. You raise King when my men do anything like that, but nothing said about blubber gut Dustin Rhodes.
Hey, I didn't see anything in the elbow pad. You prove to me there's something in the elbow pad, and I'll say something about it. There's the claw by Freddy. And that's it. Freddy and Dustin Rhodes have got the victory here. The claw by Freddy.
I can stand.
Well, we said, oh, we can stand, too. Get out of here, Ronnie Gossett. Freddy and Dustin Rhodes get the win over Rough and Ready. Freddy's got ball 20. Look out, Bart. Bart gets the claw put on him by Freddy. Boss is on the floor. Referee said, come on, he's a manager. Whoa! The referee got it broken and then left quickly because sometimes Freddy will go after whoever's closest. There goes Boss crawling out of here. Oh, no. Freddy Gossett is gone. There, he went that way. Freddy, Dustin Rhodes. There, the big high five in 4 minutes, 49 seconds of action as they get the victory. Freddy with Boss Winner's sunglasses on. And there goes Freddy in the general direction of the dressing room. Uh-oh, he's found a camera cable, but he left it alone. Nice.
I got something to say to you before we get this thing
You have to bring him. What?
When Ronnie P. Gossett is out here, Dave Brown, you will treat him with a little more respect. Or you'll deal with me personally. Now we can start this interview.
I'll treat him with all the respect he deserves.
Don't press your luck with me, Dave Brown. Ronnie?
Don't waste your time with this pencil-neck moron. Let me tell you something about that babbling fool, Dutch Mantell. He wants a no time limit, no disqualification, no referee match, and to put the icing on the cake, a loser leaves town. Well, he better get his Greyhound bus ticket ready because that idiot is going back to, Slopcroft, Texas, where he's from. What he don't realize, my man spent 4 years in the federal pen. Cell Block A. He was the king of Cell Block A. Nobody beat him. And Dutch thinks he's going to climb through the ropes and handle the Master of Pain. That's like you handling me. Tell him, Pain.
You know, Dutch, up until now, I could care less about pinfalls. All I was worried about was how bad I beat you up. And every time we get in the ring, what happened, Ronnie? Who laid in the middle of the ring while we walked back? That's right. So he went and got bold. He said, well, I got a pin on the Master of Pain. Well, see, I don't care. But now all that changes. Because after I beat him up, I'm going to lay him out 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to personally hand him that bus ticket back to Oil Trash, Texas, and I'm sure he'll be sitting in the back of the bus.
That's what Dutch Mantell came in here on, a bus ticket and a cardboard box, and that's what he's going out on. He has never been anything in the wrestling business, and we're not going to spoil his record. I fired the idiot, and he is gone. Do you understand that?
I understand. It's going to be no time limit, no disqualification, no referee even in the ring, and the loser will leave town.
The loser will leave town. You understand that?
We'll see what happens at the...
We'll know what happens.
We'll find out in the
You
match.
like Dutch, don't you?
I'm not going to take sides in this.
You better not.
Let me just tell you. It's
Don't tell
loser
me
leave
nothing.
town.
Have you got
Maybe
the
we
match
better take
straight?
a break.
We've already
We've
went
got
over
the
it
match
once.
straight. We're going to take a break is what we're going to do, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Hello, Henderson Wrestling fans. I'm Eddie Marlin. Jerry, a few minutes ago, I had Ronnie Gossett out in. He run his mouth, said he was an expert at doing interviews. I just want you to show Ronnie Gossett how to do an interview.
Well, now, I don't know about that, Ed, but I can't tell everybody about the action that's coming up this Wednesday night right here in Henderson, Kentucky at Riverside Down. Starts at 7:30. Opening match is going to be none other than our friend Freddy. He's going to be going up against Hitman Doug Gilbert. Then Plowboy Frazier and Cousin Junior are going to be taking on the Wild Side. And after that, Bill, what about this? Explain this Australian rules football match.
Well, you got a key. The last time we was up there in Henderson, the last time we was in a cage match with them, they ended up with a key. Well, this time we're going to know where the key is, because it's like an Australian rules football. You put the key on a big sock on the end of the football. You can kick it out to the fans, and we're going to know who's going to come back.
Now, the fans throw it back in, right?
That's right. They throw it back in, and I'm hoping to throw it to Dustin Rhodes and myself, and we undo the other guy, and then we go in 2-1 on them like they did that.
That should be good. Then, ladies and gentlemen, right here in Henderson, Kentucky, you're either going to see the last of Master of Pain or the last of Dutch Mantell. It's a loser-leave town match, Dutch.
Well, first of all, maintain all along the town ain't big enough for me or the Master of Pain. And Gossett, he's the only thing propping you up, holding you together. So I want you to strap it on real tight, Pain, and I want you to come after me, and I want you to bring that big fat walrus, drag his low-life egg-sucking carcass down to the ring in Henderson Wednesday night, and we're going to see who's going to pack that U-Haul trailer and leave town. That's Wednesday night in Henderson.
You better believe it. Also, the Rock and Roll Express is going to be going against the Blackbirds. Blackbirds say they can beat the Express in 10 minutes or less. If they don't, they got to give them $5,000. And then the Unified World Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line. Ronnie P. Gossett, he's always after this, and he's bringing in the Super Destroyer right here in Henderson to try to take this belt. Gossett, ain't no way, brother. I'm coming with the belt, and I'm leaving with it. And then after it's all over, a lights-out match, an extra added match. The Rock and Roll Express coming back against the Wild Side after what you saw here on TV. They're going to want each other really, really bad. That's Wednesday night right here in Henderson, Kentucky, Riverside Down, 7:30. How's that, Ed?
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. We're about set to go with the expiration of time main event. Plowboy Frazier stepping up on the ring apron right there. He's got Dustin Rhodes as his partner. Across the way, it's Doug Gilbert and Gary Air Albright. Referee Jerry Calhoun says, let's get him going here. Dustin Rhodes, Doug Gilbert against each other. A couple of second-generation wrestlers facing each other here as we get this tag team main event underway. Already today, we've had some big action. The conclusion of the Battle Royal. Hope you saw that. Rick Morton overcoming tremendous odds to take the victory. He ended up having to do it by disqualification, but he did get it down to 1 against 1, him against Chris Champion. Then Mark Starr interfered and gave Rick the victory. Robert Gibson, Rick's Rock and Roll Express partner, came in to help out and made the statement that from now on, you see one, you see both of them. Rock and Roll Express back together again. Blackbirds got a victory in a match earlier today, as did Black Bart, Master of Pain, and Dirty White Boy in a 6-man match. Whoa! Smashed their heads together, did Dustin Rhodes and Doug Gilbert. And Gary Air Albright holding their heads. Tag. Yeah, tag by Doug Gilbert. Doug says, you try it. Dustin Rhodes decides good time, nice opportunity to get the tag on the big Plowboy. Plowboy Frazier out of Mississippi, 420 pounds worth. Couple of big guys here. Gary Albright weighs in at 320 pounds. Albright, a 3-time All-American from the University of Nebraska. Little test of strength in the middle of the ring, and there's Dustin Rhodes, gets in between them. Little misdirection there by the Plowboy. Gary Albright pays for it. He gets nailed with the right hand. Dustin Rhodes now back outside, and well, Doug Gilbert had stepped in there too. Now we're back to a legal 1 against 1. Little interference from both corners there for a moment. The Plowboy, I think he may have used a thumb in his throat. Plowboy says he didn't do it. Plowboy Frazier. Victim of a standing wrist lock as Gary Air Albright now grabs his hair. That's one way to force him down to the mat, and Plowboy off his feet. 2.5 minutes gone in this one. Expiration of time match. Maybe one fall, maybe 3 or 4. We'll just try to have wrestling for you as long as time remains. Albright down on the upper left arm. You see what's happened here, Doug? Doug says Albright has him, and while Doug was around telling me how much Gary Albright, his partner, was in control, Plowboy Frazier put a reversal on him. Doug Gilbert took a bit of a shot there from Dustin Rhodes. Referee's warning Dustin to stay back in the corner. Here's Doug Gilbert through the ropes. Dustin Rhodes pulled on the ropes as he was coming through there. Doug ended up kind of falling into the ring. Dustin with a big right hand. Boy, this guy can go, let me tell you. Upper arm by Dustin Rhodes. Doug Gilbert fired into the ropes. Dustin dumps him over the back. Nice backdrop by Dustin Rhodes. Gilbert back on his feet, met with a right hand. Doug Gilbert reaching for the tag in the wrong corner. He went to a neutral corner. His partner is several feet away. Gilbert just falls out of the corner, down to the mat, covered by Dustin Rhodes. Down at 2, but very close by. Gary Air Albright brings a stop to that at the 2 count. Doug Gilbert now hanging back on the ropes. Doug makes the tag and sends Gary Air Albright in. Time beginning to wind down here. We got about 2 minutes left in the time limit. 2 minutes left. As we told you, it's an expiration of time match. When the predetermined time limit is reached, we'll have to ring the bell, whether we have a winner or not. Dustin Rhodes off the rope. Brings up the boot. Big Gary Albright now in the air, body slam by Dustin. Dustin makes the tag on Plowboy Frazier. Oh, the big upper leg by the Plowboy. Dustin gave Doug Gilbert a shot on the way out. Oh, here he comes again. Plowboy Frazier drops down on him. And Gary Air Albright has to be wondering, what hit me? Twice. One more time, says Plowboy. Yes, says the crowd, and he does it. Doug Gilbert in there, jumps him. Dustin Rhodes now comes in. All 4 of them in the ring. Time winding down. Back in the corner, Doug Gilbert being choked by Plowboy Frazier. Gary Air Albright, meanwhile, working on Dustin Rhodes across the way, swings him into the turnbuckles. We got about 30 seconds left in the time limit. 30 seconds, and we'll have to ring the bell. Action continues with all 4 of them in there. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, trying to get them back 1-1. Not having much luck, and from the looks of it, he's not going to have much luck before the bell sounds here, unless somebody can get a real quick pin. All 4 of them continue to battle. Time is just about up.